guys. So, back at it. So excited to continue this conversation on inclusive insurance. And I'm sure by now you know what inclusive insurance is. And if you don't, go back to the first episode where I talk about what inclusive insurance is and educate yourself a little bit. So today, another episode. Oh my goodness, guys. This one is one for the books. I have waited for this guest for such a long time, but the wait was worth it, So I'm sure you saw from the last episode. Coming up on this episode, we're going to talk more about inclusive insurance. And I want to get the perspective of a millennial. Yes, guys, a millennial. I want to understand what millennials would like to see in terms of insurance, because whether we like it or not, millennials actually make up the majority of, the majority of people in the world are millennials, yeah? And that's a fact. So obviously we have to think about millennials when we have this conversation. So I will bring my guest in to talk about inclusive insurance, what she thinks inclusive insurance should be all about, and what insurance companies should actually be thinking about when they are developing products, because millennials are the majority or would be the majority consumers. So here we go. This guest, oh my goodness, I've been waiting for her for quite a long time. But as I said, the wait is worth it. So let me just talk about how I met her. We actually grew up in a family setting. I don't want to go into details because we can stay here forever. Yeah. But we grew up sort of like our families knew each other. Yes. But then we reconnected during a forum. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I remember you gave a very interesting speech about this topic that we're going to talk about today. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'd like you to introduce yourself, and then we talk about what has brought you here today. Obviously, there is something interesting that you want to share with us. So welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself, and then we can get right onto it.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here with Rael. As you can see, she has that energy, the passion for health insurance. You can feel it. Not only health insurance, but healthcare in general. My name is Grace Munyiri. She has not only been a friend, but someone we have partnered with on this journey of enabling people get very good access to healthcare and health insurance. And because our passions merged, we have that one solid thing to do, and that is making sure there is inclusive insurance in terms of healthcare. Whatever it is, that's what we're working for. Thank you.
Yes. So, you've had her name, Grace Munyiri. She's young. Quite young, that's why she's here. She's a millennial. And do you know what? I think I'm a millennial, but sometimes I'm not so sure. I feel old. But Grace is in that bracket where, she's just started out in her career. And she's the right person, and she represents a lot of these people that I think we need to hear from, what they think about inclusive insurance. And just before we continue, Grace, let me ask you. What do you think inclusive insurance is? Because I know my definition of inclusive insurance, and people have their own definitions. And I don't think there's one particular definition that is set on stone, like this is inclusive insurance. But there's obviously a theme around it. So as Grace, what do you think inclusive insurance is?
I strongly feel that inclusive insurance involves including everyone in the community. This includes the young, the old, women, children, millennials, because it's not okay if you tell a millennial right now that you need to insure your car. They don't have a car right now, but if they're able to insure their phone, that is still bringing them in the bracket of insurance. So inclusive insurance for me is creating a platform or a product that will be able to include everyone in the community, not leaving anyone.
Okay. Yeah, that is very interesting. So in this world of today, like, Grace, how did you get into liking or being passionate about inclusive insurance? Like, your age mates are on the phone, they're enjoying life, they're doing all these fancy things, they are on TikTok. which I've never understood, but one day, hopefully I will. So how did you get into inclusive insurance? Like, I'm really, really curious. How did you become so passionate about it until you stand on a stage and talk about it? Like, I'm really curious. How did you get to this level?
My academic background, actually, I studied actuarial science. So that's when I first encountered insurance. But then my passion began really when I had an encounter last year, 2021, whereby I needed to undergo a procedure at the hospital. And it had to be postponed twice because the insurance funds hadn't gotten to the hospital. So and at that point in my life, my life was at stake because I needed the procedure to be done immediately. But because of this delay, we had to delay for that bit. And I always say that in every challenge, there's a blessing in disguise. Were it not for me undergoing that situation, I would not have realized the kind of insurance gap there is in Kenya. So from that time on, I thought about it. How can we have insurance such that you don't have to wait for a long period? Imagine if this baby was a lady who needed to deliver. You cannot tell a lady to wait another 2 weeks. If someone is in an accident, you cannot tell them that come later after 2 weeks so that we can handle this case just because the funds hadn't gotten to the hospital. So that is when I decided that I will make it my lifelong mission to make sure not only the millennials, but everyone, even the women, even in marginalized communities, whereby these women have to go for kilometers just to get to a hospital. That lady in that village, they need to have insurance as well. So if I can be able to achieve that, I feel I will have lived my purpose on earth.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, let me tell you, I have never had this before. Like, okay, this is interesting. You're in a hospital, you had a hospital encounter, and that has made you feel like you're really passionate about this particular topic. And you've said something very profound. You've said it's your life's purpose.
Yes, it
so
is.
You feel like you found your purpose.
Actually, yeah. I just read, I'm not sure who exactly wrote it down, that your purpose is mission, vision, vocation, and profession. And if you match them, then you get your purpose. I feel that inclusive insurance caters for everything. It has my mission there, it has my vision, it has my profession and vocation, because if I bring in my profession, I did actuarial. If I bring my vocation, I can use my insurance knowledge so that I can be able to disseminate this information. Then mission, if I can be able to speak to these communities. And my vision is just to see everyone has insurance. You walk around, you have an insurance cover, be it your phone, be it your car, whatever it is. Because okay, yes, this is knowledge I got from school. Insurance is covering a risk, right? We don't know when a risk will happen. A risk is a probability. So if everyone, at least they have an insurance for something, then we will be able to eliminate so many risks that we have in our lives. And that's why I feel that insurance is my passion.
Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm even getting excited when you're talking about this. So let me ask, why do you think majority of people do not have insurance?
Currently, the insurance penetration in Kenya is at 2.71%. This is because lack of insurance knowledge. Go ask someone right now, go to Lodo or Turkana, those remote areas, ask them what is insurance. They don't know about it. Probably the largest percentage, actually according to statistics in Kenya, the largest percentage of insurance holders are in Nairobi. So what about that person in Lodwar? There is a very big insurance gap because of the knowledge behind it. Like, why is it important? How can it help you? When can you use it? Which areas are you allowed to go and use your insurance cover, right? Not only that, there's also the premiums. If we can get, okay, this is my thought as a millennial again. Can we have like customer segmentation whereby you cannot, okay, customer segmentation, with that I mean that you don't have to have you don't need to tell people that our medical cover is 9,000. I come as Grace. I don't come as Ian. I don't come as Peter. I want you to design a product for me. that I will be able to pay, look at what I can be able to pay, and then from that, get a product for me. And that's what I call customer segmentation. Market your product, design your product relating to a specific customer, not a whole organization, or like putting people together that these people, we're going to give them this amount. Not everyone in that category will be able to pay that amount.
Yeah.
And also, it may not cater for their needs. For me, right now, my most important asset as a millennial, again, it's my phone.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, I lost my phone twice. And I was thinking, what if I had an insurance for my phone? Losing a phone is a risk, right? So if I had insurance for my phone, then I wouldn't have gone back to my bank and paid for another phone. I would have easily gotten it I would have gone to my insurance company and claimed the money back, or they would have gotten a phone for me. So insurance, I just feel we should design products for each category of people, and being specific to their needs, not generalizing the need. Yeah.
That is so interesting. And I agree with you totally. And I hope insurance people are actually listening to this. And let me ask, you've talked about Lodwa, for example, someone in Lodwa. And let me just put this into context so that you know how you can obviously answer this question. So let's say you were in Lodwa as a millennial, you're in Lodwa. And you know, in Lodwa, obviously life it's not complicated. It's not complex. You have your animals there, and then maybe you go to school. You'll not have a fancy TV. You'll not have anything really out of, the norm, if I can call it that, yeah? Nothing expensive. Maybe even for healthcare, because you're eating properly, you probably don't need healthcare insurance. So why will this person really need insurance if they don't have anything significant that they need to insure?
Okay. In Lodwa, people have herds of cattle.
Yes.
Can they insure their cattle? Sometimes, people usually say, farmers, and I'll translate it, that nimepata ng'ombe zimeanguka. That is to mean all my cows, they're dead. Can you be able to insure your cows? This is about designing product for that specific need, right? What if they plant, if for example, they plant maize? I know there's a company currently in Kenya and is doing very, very well. They have crop insurance. The company is called Pula. Can these people be able to get crop insurance such that when they plant, then the produce doesn't come up, they will still get an insurance cover for it. They won't have to go the entire loss, because people plant so that they can harvest, they can sell. This money is to be used so that they can take people to school. They can also use it for their family use. They can use it even to do the basic needs in the house, which are food, shelter, and clothing. So if they have insurance for it, then these insurance funds that they will get in case their produce does not come up will be able to cater for this cost. This will also be able to eradicate poverty. So I strongly feel that insurance will directly link to eradicating poverty, because if you're able to cater for that risk, if you're able to handle that risk at that time, then the majority of the loss will not be on you. It will be on the insurance company, and they will be able to reimburse you. And your standard of living won't go so far beyond or so far below to where you have been.
So, and I'm throwing all these questions at you because I want to understand how you guys normally think about stuff. So you've talked about, what people actually need to do, or what insurance companies need to do to actually develop products that are specific to a specific segment. But then again, going back to this person in Lodwa, or just anyone, or even you guys as millennials, you've just started out your new job. You're obviously not getting an astronomical salary. So how do you prioritize insurance as one of the things that you need to pay for? Because if I come to you, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I come to you and I tell you need to pay X amount, which is maybe a quarter or a third or something of your salary, you tell me, excuse me, I still need to enjoy my life before I get onto all. So how would you prioritize that as a millennial, insurance? How would you, if you are to actually talk to your fellow millennial, what would you tell them so that you influence them to actually get insurance? if they don't have insurance?
Okay. Well, thinking about that,
Yeah.
it's not very easy to tell a millennial that you need to pay this amount of money for insurance. I think it's all about making it fun, right? Why is it that there's no millennial who has ever complained they don't have data bundles? Why is it that?
Yeah.
Because having the data bundles, you'll be able to access YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, right? Because it's fun. It's fun being in the internet space. It's fun being able to connect with people, and basically the internet makes the world a global village, right? So insurance companies, can they make their products fun such that, like, if I get the product, I'll be like, you've not gotten it. This company is offering this, and this, and this is what it caters for. Can you insure, even if it's something as simple as your phone? Because I'm telling you, millennials love their phones. They do.
Yeah.
There's no debate about that.
Yeah.
Can you just tell them that we're going to insure your phone, even if you'll be paying 200 shillings per month? If they can be able, okay, right now, paying for data, maybe if we go by our largest network, if you need 1 GB, you're paying 100 shillings. And that 1 GB is for a day, right? So this is someone who pays 100 shillings every single day to access the internet, right? So this is 3,000 shillings. So millennials have money. It's only that the insurance companies, they have not made it such a hype.
Yeah.
They've not made it such a hype that you need to have this. They've not made it such a hype. They've not made people realize how important it is for you to have it. Because, leave alone, don't even talk about health insurance, don't even talk about motor insurance, don't talk about crop insurance. Talk about these basic things that we have. For example, jewelry. Girls love their jewelry. I mean, you cannot debate about that. They say the bigger the diamond, the happier the girl. Have something then to insure that diamond ring, right? Like, we don't have to be very archaic to what. Yes, our forefathers in insurance, they did their best to lay down how we should calculate our premiums, how we should calculate our risks. But let's move outside that. Let's see what else can we do to bring these people closer. They don't have cars, so they have phones. Okay, some don't have phones, they have their laptops. Some, they don't have their laptops, they have their iPads. Because every millennial has an electronic device. They do. Yeah. So how can we insure those things?
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I think also the access, because right now telling a millennial to go to an insurance company to fill in the forms, and then after that they're called after a week, they won't do that. They won't do that. Yeah. The reason, no, for real, the reason why even Fuliza is doing well is because Fuliza, you can do it from your phone. Yeah. So we need to make these things very accessible. Even on, like, you tell this person, fill in the forms here, we'll need these details. After that, this is what you're needed to pay. You can pay via M-Pesa, or you can use any other mobile money platform. In short, millennials, okay, I'll translate this. Hatutaki stress. Yani, is soft life. We say soft life. So insurance companies need to know how they can make getting an insurance cover quote unquote soft life.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. So I totally follow you with everything that you're saying about phones, because this is the most important thing for millennials and all that. But then, and I'll go back to the conversation I had last week with the guest. The most prevalent need is healthcare. Yeah. Because just imagine in your situation, if you didn't have the insurance that you needed when you're in hospital, what would you have done? What will your family have gone through? Obviously, it will be a financial setback. Yes. Yeah? So, I mean, I know phone is number one, but where does these other things fall? You know, because you see, for insurance companies, most of the time, they will go for the things that are very important, if I can call it that. That's why life is very big. Yes. Yeah? So healthcare is part of it, but it's normally down there because it doesn't do so well. So how do you guys get to this point where you feel like your life is more important than your phone? Your healthcare is more important than your phone? And many other things that should be priority before your phone. Is that something that is achievable or not? Or again, it's about how you position that particular product. Because, and let me throw this out there, I can, as an insurance company, if I had one, as an insurance company, what I will do is I will create a bundled product that has all these things plus the phone. Instead of having one for the phone, you can have one for the phone, but then you bundle it up and then make a product that is inclusive. Again, inclusive because it includes everything. I don't know what you think about that.
I totally feel and strongly believe still it's achievable. Because as you've said, if you bundle all these things together, as much as I want to insure my laptop, I will see this cover. I have this benefit of accessing this amount in case I need health insurance. I will have this X amount in case I need life insurance, right? And all these things, like for example, for life insurance, once I've seen you pay this amount of money and then after that they'll be able to give you this amount. For example, you invest in them and then they tell you every month deposit 15,000 and then or even 1,500, right? And then after 5 years you'll get maybe 100,000 or 1,000,000. That is something achievable. It's not an enormous figure that we will fear to even invest in if it's life insurance. If it's health insurance, you can tell them that if, for example, we go to the hospital for headaches, for stomach aches. These are things that we cannot avoid. You tell them that this health insurance cover or this cover that has been this package, as it comes as a package, will be able to cater for your cost. When you go to the hospital, inpatient will be this amount, outpatient will be this amount, right? And then even access to it, it's not such a big procedure. You can have this app in your phone, and then you can even see there's a dashboard where you can see this is amount for medical, this is amount for life, this is amount for your accessories. If you put them together, I feel that is something that it will relate, really. I strongly feel it will relate because first, it's easy to access. Second, the claims are even easy. If you want to claim for something, you just use your phone, you can be able to claim it. Third, it's easy to understand because you can easily see what is needed and for what purpose. Even getting the reminders or what to pay, or even just telling them on a payment plan that they can use. This is something that will relate to them. Yes, millennials are told to be the microwave generation. They want things faster. That is true, but we cannot change it about the millennials. What can you do to match that? It's not about what we cannot compare us to the baby boomers, but what can you do to match the millennials? Because that's where we are heading to, right? As you said, right now, almost 75% of the global population are millennials. So this is something that we can't avoid.
Okay. So this has been very interesting. So let me summarize it. In terms of what you've said, what millennials would need, and then you can add or correct me if I've not caught anything. So number one, you need, as millennials, you will need products that are segmented according to your needs. And your most important thing is your phone. Your gadgets are very important. So when insurance companies are coming up with all these products, they have to consider that. And then the most attractive thing would be bundled products that will have all these things. And then hopefully a millennial will be able to purchase it, but they'd want to purchase it in, they have a very flexible payment plan. And obviously it has to be affordable, right? So affordable. You have to combine all those things. So affordability, flexibility in terms of payment, it has to be specific to my need. What was the first one?
And also easy to access, easy to understand, like something that is on your phone. Because even right now, even banks are going to my phone, my money, my bank, right? Can we make insurance, my phone, my insurance, my cover, something like that? So
easy to access, easy to understand, not complicated. You do not want forms. You want something on your phone. Oh my goodness. Wow.
I know that can be a challenge, really, because even authentication. But I feel every phone, I cannot say all, most smartphones, they have their biometrics, right? So if I am filling in this phone and I use my biometrics, no one will be able to change that. Anyway, yes, there is no product like that that is out there we can compare to. But can we be able to access? Because even right now, even accessing M-Pesa, you only need your fingerprint, right? So can insurance companies come with something like that? Because your biometrics is personal to you. There is no way that your bio will work for me, and mine cannot work for you as well. So even if it's authentication, can we just use our biometrics on the phone? Something like that.
So I mean, you've already said it. We've summarized it, so that is perfect. So let me ask, and this is as we come to a close, what's your responsibility as Grace? Because you're really passionate about it. So what's your responsibility? Because you have to put your money where your mouth is. So what's your responsibility, and how do you do it? What do you enjoy doing in this space? Maybe tell us about it, and then we close this conversation.
Sharing as much information as possible on insurance, and this also includes insurtech, because when I say that I should be able to access my claims, or I should be able to get this cover through my phone, this is tech. I know insurtech is not, as at now fintech is really big in Kenya. Insurtech is still coming up, so I know this is trying to push even insurtech to merge very well and get these covers. So my contribution is insurance knowledge everywhere, information, even to my peers, telling them, like, I have realized that, and that's why I started by saying, having that personal experience where I had to wait for 2 weeks for my procedure to be done, it was so personal to me. If someone came and shared that story to me, it would not have hit me the way it did. But this is something I went through. And after that experience, I decided I will share as many people as possible. Just get a cover. Nowadays, you can even get your own personal cover for $250. There are companies which are offering $250. That is now maybe on health. You pay $250 a month, and it caters for a little bit of inpatient and a little bit. It's not a lot of money, but it's some amount that can help in the long run. So I realized that this personal experience made me to share with many people, and because it's personal, I will try and make it as impactful as possible. And through that, even trying to explain, and also my academic background, helping people to understand insurance, talking to them what the risks are and what you need to insure against. So this, my experience, my academic background, and my love for public speaking.
Oh, nice.
So merging all things together, I've been been able to get into very good platforms like the International Health Insurance Forum. That I mean, that is something that I never expected to ever talk in. But you see, because of my voice trying to say the same thing over and over again, people will eventually recognize you. Today I have talked to you, and so many people will watch this channel. They will still go and share with other people. They may not be able to understand everything about insurance, but they will Google. And if they Google, they will learn, they will go to someone else, and it will go on like that. So merging the three things together, I've been able to help fulfill my passions. I'm not there, but I am taking a step at a time and impacting as many people as possible.
Oh, my goodness. Guys, there you've had it. You can actually see her passion as she talks about it. And I'm really, really glad when I meet people like you, because it's very rare to find a millennial who's already passionate about one particular topic, especially something that will obviously change your, financial dynamic and all that. So I'm really, really glad that you were able to come on the show finally and to share your insights. I'm really, 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 really honored. And thank you so much. And if you want to find Grace, where can people find you?
I'm very big on LinkedIn. So I am Grace Munyiri, LinkedIn. You can follow me there if you want to see my fun life. I'm not always about insurance. You can also find me on Instagram. But in terms of my profession and what I'm really passionate in, that is LinkedIn. Please, you can meet me there. chat, DM me anytime. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not all about insurance. I love fun. If you have anything fun, call me anytime.
Oh my
Thank you.
goodness. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's been awesome
Yeah.
and meeting you again.
Yeah.
I love your passion as well. I'm not yet there. I need
You'll
to
get there step by step.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
So I hope you've enjoyed that conversation, perspective from a millennial. And I hope insurance companies can actually get to hear this, because this is very important information. This is gold. So I hope to see more products that will actually cover millennials, because I mean, they make up the majority of the population. But then also the other people, I'm not saying we leave out the rest, but we need to have products for millennials. So guys, if you've enjoyed this conversation, like, comment, tell me more, tell me what you think about this conversation. Are you getting a bit of knowledge? Are you getting a bit of information about inclusive insurance? Because the purpose of this is to educate and to inform, because education is power, right? Knowledge is power. So like, comment, share, and subscribe.